Hi, hello, and good evening. Listen, we missed you all on Monday. All right, life kind of got in the way. People with ties and had some other plans. But we are here to recap what I would say was actually a pretty boring week. Thanks to Lauren for nothing. I feel like it was basically just one big fat retweet of last week. But we'll still get into it all. We'll discuss her initial nominees. We'll discuss the veto, and of course the way things went down, where Team Petty took its first hit of the season, much to my chagrin. But here we go. Let's get into it. I am Kyle Petty, and I'm joined, as always, by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Regino. And this is Strat Chat, arguably your favorite reality TV podcast. We are here to recap week 3 in the Big Brother 27 house. Welcome back to the conversation, Matt Blevins. We missed you, babe. Hi, hello, and welcome back. Woo-woo, bonk, bonk, bonk. I'd love to say lots to get into, but not so much. But there are some things to discuss. And of course, another segment of Julie Judgment. For people who might be new to us here, we like to judge Julie's fit for the evening, even though we are not the fashionistas. We like to act like we are. You can vote in the comments by hashtag hot, tepid, or not. If you're on Twitter or anywhere else, you can scan the QR code featuring our queen's face, and you can submit your vote there. Yeah, let us know what you thought of Julie's fit. But first, I guess there's some things to get into. Gina is supposed to be first this evening, discussing the things that went down on Sunday night's episode. Okay.
Yeah, I was saying I have notes. I don't know how many of them are actually important, but I'm going to talk about them.
You know what? We're going to say that all of your notes are important because you're important.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are putting 7 minutes on the clock. That's our new jam here. All right. We know that we can be too chatty. We're going to save that for Monday nights. So we're giving 7 minutes to each episode of the evening. Let's see how this goes. Gina is up first, telling us about Sunday. So go ahead, babes.
Okay. So the first thing that I remember noticing that seemed important about Sunday was that we're seeing that Rachel and Ava are now kind of becoming a duo. Amy out. She said, that's enough of that. Who am I going to now? It's Ava. Which I personally love that pairing. Ava is like one of the few people this season that I'm really, really vibing with.
She's so cute.
I really like Ava a lot.
Yeah, me too.
We also saw that Amy leaving and immediately saying, oh, Jimmy's a snake, vote him out. That did not sit well with Mickey and Morgan. So we started to see the cracks in that final 3 in that moment of like, oh, this probably isn't going to work out long term. It seemed like Mickey and Morgan were going to like strengthen their bond together for a final 2, but we will talk more about that later. Because, no. I did want to throw out your thoughts on this HOH competition, because we did see the return of the Nolan twins. And in my opinion, this was the most annoying HOH I have ever watched in my life. I hated this so much.
I hate to say that I hated it too, because I really do like the Nolans. And I like the concept of something like this. Like, I like when we're being presented with information and we're quizzed on it immediately. Like, I do like that format of competition, but this, it didn't even look like they knew. It almost looked like they were being forced to memorize it when they didn't, and they weren't even sure what was happening. Like, the whole
I was watching it like, I was like, did they do this in one take and say, yeah, whatever, that's good enough? Like, they didn't know what they were supposed to say. I was like, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about it. If this was better coordinated, you could have just stood there and just said everything in unison, reading off a teleprompter. That's what it should have been. It was like, it's like they were looking at each other, and I couldn't decide if it was bad acting, it was like real acting. I didn't know what was happening. Like,
I hated it.
I also feel, it's funny to me too, because like, just to be as brief as I can, I really like the Nolan twins too. did not like this comp. But what's funny about this is that it was the two of them talking, and it felt like they were going very quick. And I feel like for people that saw them on their season of the show, in a way, it reminded me of like them being in the diary room trying to fill each other in on like, all right, what has happened the last 2 or 3 days or whatever, and you have to now talk and this and that. But this felt like way more like
I hated it so much. Oh my god!
And you know what? That concept would have worked if they were just going back and forth, because then I could have bought into that. Like
right,
you're trying to play off of what you guys did. But that
it was the unison, but only one of them would know what they were supposed to say, and the other one tried to catch up, and it got awkward.
Right.
I hated it so much.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Sorry,
but what was fun about it is that this ended with a Lauren HOH, which does mean that Team Gina has won every HOH so far this season. Thank you.
Ew. I can't even sit here and cheer for that. But good for you, I guess. Good for you.
Listen, we take the wins where we can get them.
Yeah, you have to, because you're gonna start taking hits soon. So.
I did also want to talk about I thought at first that this was like crocodile tears to try to gain sympathy because Rachel lost Amy, but then we saw Rachel in the diary room crying as well about how she can no longer win anything, New School Big Brother isn't for her, she can't do this, and that was very jarring for me. I did not expect to see that from Rachel at all.
I didn't expect to see it, but I guess when I saw it, it did kind of make sense. Like, you've lived now for what, how many years after your win of like being this BB comp queen, and now you come back and it's like taking L after L after L.
Right?
It just to me, like, it felt like this is only this is the week 3 HOH, so it's not like the game has been going for like past jury and you still haven't won anything. Like, it feels very early to be like, well, I guess I can just never win anything at all. And it's like,
right. I would agree. Yeah, definitely too early for this reaction, but I could also see you getting in your head very quickly also.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we have to remember too, Rachel has been a have-not every single day she's been there.
That's true.
Every week she's been a have-not. So she's had it very rough. And I think, I think that part of this is her getting in her own head. I think at some point she'll win something, she'll get out of that have-not room, and like she'll be sort of reinvigorated. But it's like, I get that she's down right now because she lost an ally. She hasn't won anything yet. But at the same time, like, you've been toughing it out in the have-not room and you've made it so far, and you haven't seen a block yet. I know you had week 1 safety, but that's still 2 other weeks where you could have seen the block and you didn't. So like, you shouldn't be too hard on yourself yet, Rachel.
All fair. All very fair.
Yeah, for sure. I made a note about the pizza pie conversation, but that is not as fun as I thought it would be in the moment, so I don't want to talk about that anymore. There was that whole thing with like Vince and Ava being like, "Do people really call pizza a pizza pie?" And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, I found that so annoying, and it's like, I've never heard of it. But what do you call a cherry pie? A cherry pie, you fool!
This cherry pie.
Why does it have to be called something different?
More importantly than that, though, Kelly offered to go on the block again. Why are you offering? Kelly, you're sitting here crying. Oh my God, I don't want to go home. I want to play this game so bad. Mom, Dad, I did it. Oh, this is so important to me. Please put me on the block every week. Right. I would love to be your pawn on the block.
3 weeks.
Like, why are you doing this?
I don't know. I you know, in the very, very beginning, I sort of got it, but if you're just going to keep doing it, then like you're putting yourself in that position that we said she might find herself in, even if she didn't want to be. It's almost like she wants to be. It's almost like that's what
right.
Yeah.
And so even in the diary room, she's like,
I feel bad for her.
Even in the DR, she's like, I'm on the block again by my own choice. And we're like, girly, that's not the flex you think it is. You're going to end up getting yourself sent home.
No one thinks that's cute. No one thinks that's cute. Yeah.
Which, like, on the flip side, then we have...
She thinks she's like...
Sorry, go. Are we on a delay?
No, I don't want to take up your time. Keep going.
I fear John might be a little behind. So I will just keep going. This was the moment also where Will started pissing me off, because this week Will was just not it for me. And like, we saw him throwing a fit. No! No!
Well, I
I
say
only have
finish
maybe
up.
one more point. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
Yeah.
go ahead. Finish up.
Will was pissing me off because he's like throwing a shit fit. Like, why are you putting me on the block? I was just on the block. And it's like, well, Will, that's exactly why we're putting you on the block. Because why piss off a new person when I can just use you who was already
Right.
there? You're already salty about being on the block. Like, I'm not going to throw somebody up for no reason. Like, you're the easiest person to put up. You've already been there. And then we would see him flip flop like throughout the episode. Because then there was a moment where Lauren was talking to him about how, like, she feels bad. You're not really my target, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, you put me, this is a game. Just own it then. If that's what you're going to do, like, we're here to play a game. And it's like, yeah, Will, this is a game. This
Right.
is how you play the game. Why are you salty about it? But also like, no, well, we're just playing a game.
Right, right. I had the same thought too. And it's like you're saying that it's a game as if like that's the reason why somebody shouldn't be pressed and then they
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be like so worried and that's why you should be honest about why you put me up. But at the same time, you're also really mad that she did it. So it's like you can't
Yeah.
keep saying it's a game.
Yeah,
Like
you can't claim it's just a game if you're the one getting pissy about it.
right. I do agree with that. I completely agree with that. Yeah. Sorry, Will. Get it together, man. Get it together.
I was so over Will this week.
Oof. So who did Lauren put up on Sunday?
Yes. Keanu, Kelly, and Will were the nominees, with Keanu being the main target.
Yeah. How do we feel about Keanu being like such a target in the house?
I don't really get it. If I can speak my truth. Like, I don't know
I think,
why.
yeah, I mean, I guess he's done some of this to himself with the "I'm going to take you all out one by one" thing.
But that's the game. You're all supposed to be thinking that way.
No, and I agree, but obviously that got a reaction from people.
Yeah.
Like, people were not happy that he said that, so I'm thinking that's part of the reason he's a target, whether we,
I just don't get it.
feel like it's warranted or not. And then I feel like part of it is also just the feud he had with Jimmy. Like, it was such a public feud. They were going after each other, like, and I think that just between him and Jimmy, Keanu making that statement, having Casey come into he got a power and had Casey come in and save him from the block at one point. Like Keanu's been involved. We're 3 weeks in, and Keanu has been very involved. So I can understand why, especially when like who were the other biggest targets, right? Ashley for taking a shower.
Yeah.
Right. There haven't really been a lot of people, and Keanu maybe has been the most polarizing person that hasn't had like the actual power to put anybody up.
For me, though, I feel like Jimmy is more of like I don't know how he's not a bigger target.
I don't know how he's not either.
I agree, and that kind of like actually segues well into my first note for the Wednesday episode. Actually,
well, I mean, we're certainly there. We're certainly there. So
On the clock.
let's get that timer back. Yeah, let's get that clock going. Okay, so people don't think they can just be out here in these streets just chatting and chatting and chatting. So tell us about the jumbo episode this week.
Yeah, Wednesday's jumbo episode. One of the first notes that I took was actually that Jimmy was saying that he felt pretty good with his position in the house, which, I feel like coming off of last week is a little surprising because of the fact that he had to literally nominate 5 people and get all this blood on his hands. And it was like, all right, it feels like Jimmy is going to be in big trouble. Amy's on her way out the door screaming about how he was a snake and a liar and this and that. He nominated all these people. But then when you think about it, some of what Jimmy was saying makes sense to me. Like, I know his triple threat alliance with Mickey and Morgan is a little fractured, but he also mentioned working very closely with Lauren and Catherine, having a final 3 with them potentially as well. And then he mentioned that of the 5 people he put up, Amy went home, and now Lauren just nominated Keanu, Kelly, and Will, all people that Jimmy put up. So now you have one person that Jimmy nominated is gone. 3 others are on the block, more recently nominated by someone else other than Jimmy. It kind of like lets him kind of fall back into the background a little bit in a way. It's like this was the best case scenario for Jimmy this week, especially because as we find out at the end of this episode, Adrian goes up. So now every single one of the people that Jimmy nominated last week was put back on the block by someone else this week. It kind of makes you forget about Jimmy a little bit, I think.
I think, well, to play devil's advocate here, I think that only works for us as viewers. Like, if I was a player in the game, I would actually be annoyed because it's Jimmy that started the trend of me being the person to keep
Sure.
going up. So I would actually still have a little bit of something for Jimmy going into this next week because we wouldn't be talking about Will or, well, I guess not Adrian anymore. And Kelly cheated to herself. So I guess it's only Will, as we whittle it down, that can really like say that.
And I don't really think that Will would have an issue with Jim. It wasn't until Lauren put him up, and that Lauren had to go then talk to him and like apologize and like kind of calm
He
him
seems
down.
significantly more mad this week than last week.
Yeah,
right.
He definitely does. He does. And see, if I was Will, I don't know. Like for me, I would definitely, I'd be mad at both of them. I'd be mad for Lauren for continuing it, but I'd be mad that Jimmy began it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree, but also now
it
Jimmy's
doesn't look like that doesn't look like how Will sees it.
Yeah,
so never mind,
right.
Never mind me.
Well, especially because now Jimmy's a week removed from actually nominating him, and Jimmy did actually vote for Will to stay. So I feel like, and Jimmy's working with the people that voted for Will to stay. So I kind of feel like Jimmy's just going to get away with that at this point. Kelly keeps making these comments. Right. Yeah. Also, Kelly keeps making these comments about how week after week she's been volunteering to go on the block and that it's both boosting her BB resume, but also now all of these HOHs that have put her up now owe her big time, according to her. Do you think that any of these HOHs owe Kelly big time?
They don't owe her a damn thing.
Yeah.
Because she's also
neither do I.
She's not leveraging it. She's just saying, yeah, you can put me up. Like, that's fine. And then in her head, she's like, well, they owe me. That's not how that works. You go in there and you say, listen, I will offer to do you this favor and go up on the block.
If you do this
here
for
is
me.
how, if you do this for me, here is how this is beneficial to you. Here's how we're going to work this together. Here is how this is going to be mutually beneficial. Not just like, yeah, I'll just go up. And then you assume that they're going to like do you a solid later. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I'll just go up.
Like,
it's just, it's
but
weird.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yep.
My team, my number one pick was Morgan. Love Morgan. She's really pissing me off right now, though, with this crush she has on Zach. And in this episode, Wednesday's episode, we saw Zach at one point having a conversation with Vincent Riley saying he needs to distance himself from Morgan because he doesn't want to lead anyone on, but she's a great friend and all this stuff. It was funny. Vince made a comment saying that Morgan is into Zach, Zach is into Lauren, and Lauren is just into playing Big Brother, even though Lauren didn't have a very good HOH this week. But what do you think of this whole love triangle? It got shown a little bit during this episode of Zach, Morgan, Lauren. I'm just most disappointed that Morgan, I feel like, didn't seem to be this kind of player coming in, and now she seems to be all about this showmance.
I mean, Morgan is definitely a lot messier than I anticipated. And like a lot of the reason why is going to come into play when we get into Kyle's little section of like tonight's episode. But Morgan.
For Lauren? Oh, for Morgan.
Morgan's been messing up. Morgan's slipping a little bit.
Yeah. Vince has a final 2 with both Kelly and Lauren, right? Vince has been promising everything to everybody. He promised every single veto player this week that he would save them from the block if he won the veto. He promised Lauren that if he won the veto, that he wouldn't change her noms. Is Vince doing too much right now? Way too fast.
Yes, he is.
For no reason whatsoever.
You can't make that many promises if you can't. You're gonna disappoint at least one person. You can't make that many promises.
You know what happened to the guy who tried too many new things too fast?
She died.
He died. Vince. Yeah, I don't know. I think Vince is digging a hole for himself. But I also think that is a trap that every first HOH falls into. Regardless, when they start to self-destruct, you in that very, very first week, you're trying so hard for people to like you. I think that's human nature, and then you're trying to feel like you're safe in the game because you want to gain some agency while you still have some power. And I just think that he's fallen into that trap, and it's going to bite him a little. It's going to bite him very soon. It's going to bite him soon. Yeah.
I do be worrying about Vince.
Definitely.
Hey y'all! Thanks for saying hello.
Hey.
We need to find a night to collaborate, by the way. I miss y'all's
We
faces.
sure do.
I miss y'all's
I know.
voices. I just miss
Talk about
y'all's
chopped
energy.
cheese.
Yeah. I can't talk about that because I don't
I
know.
cannot
I still
tell
don't know
you
what's up.
how many storefronts with chopped cheese in the window I have seen since that night. I cannot tell you how many of times. I feel ashamed every time.
All right.
Yeah,
Reclaiming
no,
my
we gotta talk about
time.
that.
Reclaiming my time.
Ah!
All right. We still haven't even gotten to the veto competition. So veto
No, it's
players
okay.
were
I think you
Lauren,
should get some extra
Keanu, Kelly,
time. The
Will.
jumbo episode should not be 7 minutes. Like,
Okay,
we're gonna
that's
have
right, that's right.
right. Wait, hold on. I got to. Oh, thank God it doesn't just keep going. It's like I am not ready to stop it. We'll give you another 7 because I'll tell you, there's nothing to talk about from tonight. I got like 2 notes and then the vote. So bad.
Well, so we had our veto players picked. Obviously, Lauren, Keanu, Kelly, and Will were the shoo-ins. Vince did not want to play. Of course, he was chosen. And then Ashley was chosen by Will's house guest choice. Did you like this basement break-in competition we had with the Lakers? And that crystal they had to move around was a lot bigger than I expected.
That crystal was humongous. I would have just tried to throw it over the boxes and just get myself over the laser. Like, no one said we couldn't do that. You just said you had to get it back. So, and I was just gone. I'm sure that I would have been stopped. But yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. Well, only to an extent.
Yeah, I honestly, this was one of those competitions where I was like cleaning and like putting stuff away while it was on, and I was like,
I think I was
good.
responding to text messages and you know.
I was trying to like set my room up to make sure it was like good to go for the stream.
This is not my episode. I don't really care. This competition's boring. I mean, I guess while we're on that, if I can just interject, I mean, do we even like these supersized episodes?
The 90 minutes.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that's funny is that I haven't really watched. How many of these 90-minute episodes have we had now? Because I feel like I've normally I've watched them. Maybe. Right, like I've only really watched them, I think, after the fact. So like, if I'm watching them on Paramount Plus without commercials, it's only like 65 minutes anyway. So
I think it's good now as long as there are as many people in the house as there are. But I think very quickly it's going to start to become a filler episode.
Yeah, I see that. And I actually thought I saw some cracks of that this week. Like, there were a lot of moments it's like, I don't really care about this. Like, I don't need all the silliness. If I want silly, I'll just watch the feeds or I'll just check out Twitter. Like, I want actual game stuff. But maybe we'll get more on a week that's not so predictable. Like with Lauren, like, if you're having nominees that are new. So I'm holding out hope, but like, I'm kind of starting to feel like this is giving me supersized Amazing Race, and it's like, well, who asked for this?
Yeah.
I don't need this much.
Because even in this episode, like I felt like the whole segment with Lauren like apologizing to Will and being like, "Oh, anything you want from my HOH room, any of the drinks or food," like this already feels unnecessary. It's taking up like several minutes of the episode, and I'm like, if we're already putting filler in when there's still like 15 people in there, do we really need
Right. I am not encouraged what this looks like 5 weeks from now.
Right.
But that's just a side thing. Sorry. It's supposed to be your time.
No, but I agree. I totally agree. So we had our veto comp. The top 3 times we learned were Vince with 10 minutes and 1 second, Lauren in second place with 7 minutes and 22 seconds, and Keanu in first place, 6 minutes and 54 seconds. So Keanu wins the veto. Which, yes, congratulations to Team Kyle on your player being safe. I did think it was a little lame that Keanu was like, "Good to see my old friend again," when it's like, all right, you've won 2 of these, and one of them you didn't even actually win.
One of them you didn't actually win.
A little bit. The way that this cast has been like acting like we're so far ahead of the game. Oh my god, I'm so sick of playing it safe. It's like it's week 3. Yeah. There's nothing to be sick of. The game just started. What do you mean?
Do you know what? I have another gripe with Keanu's been annoying me a little bit. And I have to say, well, just in general, he's been annoying me a little bit. But there was also a line that he had on Sunday night's episode where he was like, after Adrian had won the blockbuster, they went into the pantry, and Keanu was like, "Way to make a fucking move, man!" And then he had like a diary room session where Keanu was like, "Oh yeah, like looks like me and Adrian are taking a page out of Rachel's book and grabbing our life vests." And it's like, no, floaters grab a life vest, not people making moves. Are you like, you're calling yourself a floater?
It's like
Like, you're not even using the quote right. Yeah, like you're not even using the quote right. Like,
and that really also plays into when he thought he was showing Rachel that he's such a fan, but also just highlighting all of her worst moments. And it's like, this
do you even
things
know
are just not
Floater
going well
Life
for you.
before she told you she said it? Like,
Right. I'd actually be more like endeared towards you if you just said, you know what? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like, yeah. I hear that.
But I also thought it was very funny in this episode, Rachel continuing to walk in on Vince and Lauren when they were kept trying to talk in different places of the house. And it's interesting to see Rachel try to like pull Lauren in and like get into her ear and be like, listen, you shouldn't be letting people like Vince, this guy who's in his 30s and unemployed, like try to, manipulate your HOH week. And Lauren's like, well, that's what you're trying to do by having this conversation with me. So that whole thing was a little interesting to me. And Lauren, of course, tells Vince about that. So Vince now knows that Rachel is talking about him to Lauren. Of course, also the veto competition sponsored by Bad Guys 2, the movie. So they all got to watch that movie. At least Keanu, Rachel, Jimmy, and Ava. And then we had our veto meeting, which Keanu used the veto on himself. Lauren replaces Keanu with Adrian. That's how we end up with our final noms of Adrian, Kelly, and Will. And yeah, it's interesting to me also that now every single HOH has had to nominate at least 4 people. Vince nominated 4, Jimmy nominated 5, Lauren nominated 4. So like, but what pisses me off is that they're the same nominees every week. At this point, we've had 13 people be nominated in 3 weeks, where other seasons we might have only had 6 people nominated in the same amount of time, and it's just the same people constantly week after week. So those are all my notes for the Wednesday jumbo episode.
The only note that I want to add to that is that I thought it was absolutely absurd for all of these people to be watching The Bad Guys 2 sitting on Lauren's bed. I'd be like, y'all don't sit on my damn bed. Like, what is y'all doing? Like, I would have such a problem with that. Like, I'd be so mad. I'm not even there. Y'all are just eating snacks in my bed, probably eating crumbs and shit all up in there, probably spilling a soda or something. And even if I was there, that's even more reason. There's a couch over there. Like, y'all don't need to be in the bed.
Well, those always make me laugh so hard because like I don't think I realized until last season they're watching it on that teeny tiny little TV where they can see like the kitchen. Like that TV is probably the size of like my computer screen, and they're all like sitting on the bed all the way over like, yeah, I think this movie's kind of great. But like they really cannot see what they're looking at.
Right. Even
greatest
Lauren
experience of my
that
life.
TV at some point, like on the couch, like laid back and like watching it to be closer. Like not one of you could be on the couch. You all had to be on top of my bed. That would not sit right with me. I would not like that. But I mean, there's a lot about this game that I know I couldn't actually do if I was actually in there. Like, yeah, but I guess that's the most minor of it. But I mean, from tonight, I have to say, like, I really do feel like I was kind of straightforward. I think the one thing that really stuck out to me was the Morgan and Mickey relationship. Like, I felt pretty good last night about the fact that Mickey had shared with Morgan, like, what her power is and everything like that. And then after what we saw tonight, again, because we did not tune into the feed, so we don't know when some of these conversations actually happened. I know we've been really bad feeders. But when I think about, so Mickey going back to, I don't even know who she was talking to. It was Vince and somebody.
I think she told Adrian.
Yes. So Morgan was talking with Vince and Zach about how Mickey had told Adrian that Morgan had told her that there was a final 3 of,
And I don't think that information should have gotten out. I don't think she should have
I
done
don't know
that.
why Morgan told her. You're like, you're in a final 2 with me, but then you're telling me about your final 3 with 2 other people? Yeah, I'm going to be threatened by that.
I have way less of a problem. The way that it was presented anyway, I have way less of a problem with how Morgan came off, because I felt like it seemed like the way we were shown it is that this conversation happened between Morgan, Zach, and Vince or whatever, right?
Right.
And then Morgan went straight to Mickey and was like full transparency. Like, I just had a conversation with them, and they were like, let's do a final 3. And it's like, all right, well, 2 people that are in the game with us came to me, we had this discussion, and now I'm being fully transparent with you and telling you about it. Where I feel like Mickey was like way more sneaky about how she went about being like, oh, by the way, I heard that Morgan's in this alliance. And it's like, I felt like Morgan was trying to be honest with you, and now you're being like...
But see, I don't know, because... No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, for me, like, week 2 is too early for me to know who I can actually trust. Like, I know who I think I'm aligned with, but it's too early on in the game for me to really know anybody's true intention. So if I have a final 3 over here with a final 2 built in, and then I have another final 3 over here, I'm just going to keep those 2 things separate until I know what the actual structure of the house is looking like and who I can really trust and who I can really feel comfortable with before I'm going to start telling people who else I'm aligned with. I'm just going to insulate myself with more people before I start running my mouth about like, yeah, this person told me that. Because you don't know Mickey's intentions. Like, because for me, if I'm Mickey, I see my final 2 telling me that she's now aligning herself with a different final 3. So how do I know that I'm the one that you're actually aligned with versus you're lying to me and telling them, yeah, no, like I'm telling Mickey that blah, 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 but I'm really with you guys.
Right. I agree that that's like a tricky thing there, because I also, not to forget that I'm also probably extra jittery with you, because there's probably some version of me that might be questioning whether or not I should have shared with you that I have this power. So it's like, so you take that coupled with, the fact that now I also like, I'm not really sure who you might be aligned with. Yeah, you said full transparency, but like how much of that can I really believe?
Right.
Yeah, I guess, and I guess this also sort of goes back to my annoyance with Morgan, like seemingly just getting into the showmance with Zach. So I guess that does add an extra layer. It's like, if I'm Mickey and you're Morgan, saying that you're coming at me fully transparent, saying like, oh, Zach, who you know I have a crush on, and Vince are coming to me proposing this. I'm not the one that came up with it, but they're proposing it to me. And now Mickey is also seeing Morgan every night cuddling up with Zach. And it's like, all right, well, she told me about the final 3, and like she told me I'm the priority, but is she lying to me? Because she's not coming and cuddling with me every night after we have our game talk. She's going and cuddling with Zach, who apparently she has a final 3 with, and she insists isn't real. Like,
yeah, tricky position to be in. I just think everybody should just be quiet and don't say anything like too soon. Like, I still think Mickey shouldn't have said anything so early. She should have waited and just kept the information, just see how things play out. But that was really my only note, like for that. And I did take down what the vote was, which you let me know if you think anything there is interesting.
I have a comment for after, but go.
You have a comment. You have a comment. So I mean, the vote was 8-4, and Adrian left. My first comment about this is that I became a lot more endeared towards Adrian than I thought I was going to.
Same.
I picked him on my team just because I thought that he was going to be absolute chaos, and I just thought it was going to be really, really fun. Even though Keanu is the one that's really the controversial pick. But that's why I took Adrian. I did not expect to like him like I do and did. However, his emotional reaction to everything and how endeared people seem to be to him. Like, did I miss it? I feel like Will said something like, vote to keep this guy, like vote me out. Didn't he say that even during his eviction speech? He said something that seemed like it was kind of in support of Adrian.
I don't know that he specifically said vote to keep him, but he was like, it's basically made it like it's so hard to campaign against this guy. Like, this is such a good guy. you know?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was basically like, this is like one of the nicest people I've ever met. I'm not going to say anything negative. Like, if you think it's in your best interest to keep me, then keep me. But if you also think it's in your best interest to keep Adrian, then keep
Keep
him,
him.
because I'm not
Right.
going to say anything bad about him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, and I
And it's,
guess. Go ahead.
I was just going to say like, it's interesting to me because Adrian was the one who stuck up for Will, right? When Zay got voted out, Keanu went around the house trying to figure out where the votes were. And Keanu was like immediately suspicious of Will for some reason. And Adrian was like, whoa, Keanu, like, slow it down. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, you're throwing Will under the bus with no evidence whatsoever. And now this is making me not trust you. And like, Keanu ended up sticking with Adrian and voted for Adrian to stay tonight. But like, but it's just, it sucks to me. And this is why, like, all the little things that I'm annoyed about Keanu for, like, it bothers me even more now, because it's like he was the one throwing Will under the bus. Adrian was the one coming and defending Will, and now somehow it ends up being Adrian that's on the outside of the house while Will and Keanu are both there. And it's like, damn, Adrian really got the short end, especially because I did not like Adrian. You guys both know I was not looking. I did not think I was going to be rooting for Adrian at all in any part of this season. And like, as much as I'm happy that Will stayed because he's on my team, like, I'm super bummed that Adrian got voted out tonight.
I'm bummed too, but I also I almost wonder if it was actually a very good move for everybody in the house too, because the
And it might have
level of
been.
emotion, the level of emotion that he had there, like it almost felt like, oh gosh, it's so hard to vote this guy out. And if you're feeling like that week 3, like almost feeling guilty about the decision that you are making, that ultimately is better for your game just for someone to go, right? You're feeling that bad about it. If you're feeling that bad at week 3, what does that look like in week 7 or 8? Like,
Sure.
I mean, you want to talk about somebody pulling on your heartstrings. I mean, like, the guy's going to have you all fucked up, like, by the end of this. So, like, maybe it kind of made some sense.
I also,
I think you're right.
something that I find interesting, and again, forgive us, we have been very bad feeders right now. I have been moving. I have not been tuned in at all. However,
I know, you're supposed to be the
I was
feed
like,
queen.
I know. I'll be better now that I'm in. I moved in. I'm done. I finished. But I was perusing the Blue Sky during tonight's episode, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe that they're giving Ava the Izzy edit when Ava is the reason why this happened tonight."
Yeah, no, totally.
And I can't really
I'm
provide
glad
any
you're bringing
more.
this up.
I can't really provide a lot more context to that because I have not, unfortunately, been tuned into what's been going on. But it seems like Ava was kind of the puppet master that made this vote happen and is kind of controlling things right now.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
can
just
give a
not seeing
little
it
more
because of the
information.
edit. Yeah,
I
please,
can
by
give
all
a
means.
little more information on this, because I haven't been fully tuned into the feeds, but I have been checking out BB Twitter a bit. And apparently, before the vote, in the last couple of days, Ava was instrumental in bringing both Zach and Vince over to the side voting for Will to stay. So the vote ended up being 8 votes for Will to stay, Adrian to leave, and 4 votes the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people were wondering, what's Lauren going to do, right? If it ends up being a tie, if it ends up being 6-6, right? And it seems like Lauren might have been siding with voting out Will and keeping Adrian. But because Ava, she was having a conversation at one point, breaking things down for Zach and Vince, being like, all right, this is why you should vote for Will to stay. And she apparently was persuasive enough to convince them. And that's what made the vote 8-4. Because if Zach and Vince both switch their vote, that turns it now to a 6-6 vote, a tie vote.
And it did look like Vince made his decision. Like, he was sitting there for a while being like,
it was it seemed
Adrian.
like a tough decision. Yeah. And apparently it was Ava that switched both Zach and Vince's votes, which would have made it go from 8-4 to 6-6 as a tie. And then Lauren would have to break that tie. And from everything that I saw, it seemed like Lauren would have broke that tie in Adrian's favor. So whatever Ava said, whatever Ava said would whatever she did, she got those 2 votes to the other side to save Will, and took Lauren's whole tie-breaking vote possibility out of the equation completely. So,
so we don't actually know what Ava said that actually got that going.
I want to go back and like listen to Taryn's updates or something. Like, I'm so interested in what these conversations look like.
Yeah,
I really just saw I just really saw screenshots of Ava talking with Zach and Vince. The caption was that, here's Ava's missed actually convincing, Zach and Vince to vote for Will to stay. And it's like, if those 2 votes had gone the other way, Lauren could have sent Will out and Adrian would still be there potentially. So
that's exactly what would have happened. Yeah.
So,
well, thanks a lot, Ava. I mean, I guess she missed the memo that we're all supposed to be working together. I don't know what's going on. I had to send her a message via carrier pigeon. Fly over the backyard and drop something down. Like, exactly.
Send
like
a blimp.
This is what we're supposed to be doing, Ava. All right, it's supposed to be the 5 of y'all, and you're messing up. But yeah, so
you gotta send her a care package.
Yeah, really.
Like, Team Kyle. She's like, who the hell is Kyle?
What is a Kyle? But yeah, Team Kyle takes their first hit. We lose Adrian. I'm at least happy to say that he was like, my last pick. So at least we're going in the right direction. And continuing on, as I continue to look at my team here, I do think it's really my bottom row that has the biggest issues.
For sure.
Kelly, because she loves the block. Oh, she loves it. Keanu, who doesn't, but keeps finding himself there. But Ava and Ashley, they're fine. Ashley, she doesn't seem like anyone really gives a damn about this shower anymore.
The only person that still cares is Vince. And it's because and it's not even because of the shower, it's because after the shower Vince put her up, and then Ashley was like, well, I can't say that I won't put you up because you put me up. So it's not even like actually because of the shower itself anymore. It's just because Vince is like, oh fuck, Ashley might put me up.
Right. It did sound like Catherine might have still had some issue with it. Because I feel like that was mentioned in some episode. Catherine still seems to be the problem with this shower. But oh well.
I will say I do. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I think it's funny that production anyway is still leaning into the shower thing a little bit, because during the episode during the Wednesday episode when it was time to pick players for the veto meeting, they had Lauren come out and be like, it's time to pick players. And like the first shot that they cut away to was Ashley cleaning her face in the shower.
Yeah, I was probably walking around doing something else at that point.
Yeah, I don't think I clocked it. I was like,
I didn't see that either. Let's take a look at Team John. Obviously, took their first hit 2 weeks ago. But yeah, Morgan, I think Morgan's fine.
Yeah, I think she's okay. I even think Mickey's okay. We'll see what happens with Will. I'm totally fine with Riley being ejected into the sun.
I don't have any strong feelings for or against him. I'm hoping that Mickey uses her power, though. I don't want this to be one of those like amazing twists that we just never get to see happen. Yeah. I don't want her in trouble, but I do want her, jolted enough or just shook enough that she actually uses it.
Sure.
I want her to use it. I'm just nervous about it because it seems like there could potentially be people that know about it. So it's like, depending on who's HOH, if one of their allies knows that Mickey has it, are they going to tell the HOH? Because it all comes down to this interrogation thing.
Right.
I just don't understand why people who get powers like this feel the need to... Like, we saw this with Quinn last season. If you have a power that is this instrumental in causing chaos in the game, you tell nobody. No. I don't care who you're aligned with. That stays with you until the end of the game. You tell nobody.
I agree. I completely agree with you, but I feel like Mickey was already kind of at a disadvantage because I feel like if you remember that specific episode, Zach was making comments because Mickey happened to put it into that
I do remember that
space that she had to right next to Zach, and Zach was like, I'm pretty sure Mickey got a power because like we were right next to each other, and then as soon as like she put that thing in, I heard something like one of those dumb waiters, whatever they were, like went up.
Yeah. I
So
do remember
like,
that.
so like I know that she told Morgan about it, but I feel like my concern is that other people know about it without her even actually saying anything about it. So I'm like, all right,
but I think it's
she might think she has a big gotcha moment, and then it's like, all right, somebody already knows. So sorry, Mickey, and now she becomes a huge target. So
that is totally fair. It's so much easier to claim ignorance if you haven't confirmed it to anybody. Like, I don't know. Like there is a world where she could be like, that wasn't even me next to you. You know, like she could like try to find a way around it if she hadn't already confirmed it with somebody.
I still think at this point, I don't think that Morgan would throw her under the bus at this point. I could be completely
well, I don't know
wrong.
now with her exposing the final three. They could be at odds.
I agree, and I could be completely wrong. I just still think that Morgan is smart enough to know like it's too early to do all that. Like Mickey, even if like there's a fracture there, like Mickey's not going to turn around like next week and be like, Morgan, you're my target. There's other people I think that like Mickey has to worry about before Morgan. I don't know.
No, I think I agree with that too. I think that Morgan would also understand that if she keeps the correct face with Mickey, that even if she gets to pull the power off, Mickey is still not going to put Morgan up. Like, so even if Morgan isn't too jazzed with her, I think she might find if she's a gamer like she says she is, then she should understand that she's good. Like in this moment, yeah, I think they might be okay. You know, give this a couple more weeks. I've been seeing some conflicting reports about when jury is actually starting. Is this like a 9-person jury? I saw some 7-person jury. Like if it's actually 7, that's a little wild, and that's a really long time. So like a lot could change in that time. So keep watching this space.
Was this past season the first one where they extended the jury, or was it the one before? I can't remember.
Oh, Gina, I don't know these things. I'm gonna be counting jury members.
I can't remember if that's like a brand new thing or if it's been a couple seasons.
That I couldn't tell you. Where's Slim when you need him? I don't really know. By the way, did you see that Slim got like retweeted by Julie Chen Moonves?
I did not.
Oh.
Yeah. Queen Julie stumbled on Slim's thread from years ago, rating all of the different intros.
Yes.
And like now people were definitely in the comments be like, you know, Julie is not up this late. She ain't looking at nobody's intro thread. So like we don't really what intern is running Julie's socials.
Right.
But it doesn't even matter because it was there. And that was very, very exciting. We have to connect with Slim again because we had that epic rundown on like Memorial Day, like 3 years ago.
That was great. That was great.
So we do need to get back to that. But first, we do need to talk about Team Gina. Not a single hit, no problems over here.
That's so new.
Yes, 75 sunny skies over on Team Gina. Except, I don't know that Jimmy is as secure as he thinks he is. I think there are people that would still like to see him go.
And his time is coming for sure.
Yeah. If Keanu wins like an HOH, like he's definitely going up. I don't care that Keanu took him on this movie date. Like there's still going to be something there. And I don't know that necessarily putting him up right away is the best thing either. Like you might want to backdoor him. Yeah. How do you feel about your team, Jeans?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I do feel good that we have won every HOH so far. I do feel good that we haven't really been like, I don't know that any of these people have been on the block yet.
No, they actually have not. Nice, like that, very astute observation.
And that should make me feel good. However, Jimmy is a big personality that is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, and it is going to come back to bite him. Vince is another one that, like, I don't necessarily think that people are getting angry with him or frustrated with him, but I do think that he could start rubbing people the wrong way because he feels like someone that's going to be, I feel like his problem is that he's going to get into his own head too much and like cause problems where there aren't any, if that makes sense. Like he feels like he's like grasping at nothing and I do worry that that's going to get him into trouble. Catherine, I don't really have any concerns about right now.
I think she's fine, yeah.
Yeah, Lauren, I know Will is pissed at her, but other than that, I don't think she really ruffled too many feathers. Zach, I worry about a little bit too. I feel like his emotions could get the better of him because he's been so emotionally attached to so many of the people that have left so far, and like he gets very like, he's in this whole like love triangle situation. I think that could potentially blow up. I don't know. I worry about that.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with all that. I mean, I still think Zach is one of the safer of your team.
I think in this current moment, I think he's okay, but I think depending on how he plays things moving forward, he can get himself into trouble pretty easily.
I think things could change quickly for Zach.
Yeah, I think it depends greatly on who is the HOH, because he still falls into that bro category that people always like to get rid of. Although he hasn't really won anything except for the night one comp.
Oh yeah,
right? That's the only thing he won. Like I don't really think he won anything yet. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he's taking himself out of that, out of that category. I don't know. I did want to, before we get too far or too close rather into wrapping up, I made a note here. John had made a comment that Lauren did not have a good HOH week. Is that what you said? Is that what you believe? You think Lauren had a bad week?
Did I say that?
You did say that, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness I was validated there.
Did I specifically say bad?
You said she did.
You didn't say bad. Yeah, and my note was Lauren didn't have a good week. like that's how I wrote it. So I feel like that's how you said it.
I would argue like Lauren didn't have a big week, but I do think that like she had a good week in the sense that she didn't really ruffle any more feathers that weren't already ruffled. Like I think that she didn't make any new enemies other than Will, but like I don't think that she made any new enemies. I think she just played it very safe, which for week 3 I don't think is necessarily bad.
I thought it was a snooze.
I'm still confused. I didn't say I didn't think I said she had a bad week, did I?
You didn't say the word bad, but you said Lauren did not have a good HOH week.
I mean, that is why
I wish I knew the context. I wish I knew the exact context because I.
Yeah, I mean,
we're here. What do you feel about her HOH week?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was boring. I feel like she put up 3 people. I feel like there were people coming to her saying that Vince was controlling her HOH week. She just put up people that other people have nominated. I don't know. I honestly, I don't remember we'd have to go back and look because I don't remember saying she had a bad week.
Well, okay. Well, we'll go back. I just wanted to comment that I don't think she did. I didn't think she had a bad week. I don't think she had a not good week. I actually think she had a good week. I just thought it was a snoozer. But I did also want to just shout out DM Rocks. Welcome back, DM Rocks. Welcome back. Welcome back. We missed you. Hello. But yeah, all right. So that's on that. You know what we have to do now?
Of course.
We got to judge Julie. Yeah. Oh, Julie. Oh, Julie. What are we wearing this week? The middle picture is so good because I feel like she knows she's being judged, and that's why she looks like she's turned off to the entire thing. She's turned off.
How dare you?
But tonight, our queen was sporting like this beautiful green, ensemble, if you will. We got pants tonight, which I certainly did not mind. An open toe shoe, 4 nice big buttons, and we have pockets. Listen, I like the high hair. I thought this was fantastic. For me, this was a hot. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Anytime she steps out without denim is at least a tepid. So yeah, I really, really like this. I thought this is very cute, very appropriate for the season. Bright and bouncy, if you will. Bright and bouncy.
I would agree that this is a hot. I did toy at the very, very top of the episode with giving it a tepid because
Uh-oh.
it did look at the very, very beginning that the pants were too long. And I was like it looked like it was dragging on the floor. It looked like she needed to be hemmed just a little or get like a slightly higher heel. And I was like, Julie, I don't know about this. But the more that I was seeing her like walk around the stage and move with it, I was like, never mind. I take it back. This is a hot. I'm here for it.
Thank you. Excellent. Very good. And it looks like the people agree. Looks like the people agree. What do you think, John?
I give it a hot.
Wow.
I liked it a lot.
This is the first time Julie got all hots this week, or
Wow.
this season, rather, from all three of us. Way to go, Julie. Way to go.
To
Good
go
for you.
indeed.
Everybody else agrees. It was like all hots across the board. No one said tepid. No one said not. So way to go, Miss Julie.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I love to see it. My parting thought here is that I didn't watch, but I heard that BB Unlocked was an absolute failure.
Oh, I did not watch it either.
I didn't watch
That
either.
it was the most boring thing she's ever seen. She was not impressed, and she said she will not be tuning in the rest of the season. So there's that. Yeah. So sorry to BB Unlocked. I wasn't available, but I would like to say I will try. We don't get it this week, August 1st. BB Unlocked. My calendar just fell, but it will be back August 8th.
Oh my god. Just go.
Oh my god, so terrible, very sad. I hope I don't step on the thumbtack. We'll get to that later. Any closing thoughts for our friends here?
I actually just very briefly, this actually is sort of Big Brother related, but not BB27 related. So I don't know if I should say it now or if Gina has something else.
Oh, I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, so last night the Challenge 41 premiered, and there's 4 recent Big Brother players on it: America and Blue from BB25, Cedric from BB26, and Tay from Big Brother Australia. In the first episode, it looks like they're going to be paired up differently each week, but in the first episode, America was paired up with Turbo, Blue was paired up with Derek C, Cedric was paired up with Olivia, and Tay was paired up with CT. And I'm just curious, just a general, not to give any spoilers out. None of them went home last night. You know, I don't want to give anything specific out, but so they're going to be on the season now for at least a couple episodes. How do we think our Big Brother players are going to fare in this new environment on the Challenge 41?
Oh gosh.
America, especially America, Blue, and Cedric. So I don't know how many of our viewers are in tune with Big Brother Australia and Tay.
I'm trying to remember how they were in competitions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Blue, it's so hard to say because these competitions are so not the same. Like there's just so different. I actually think, I mean, they all could have some kind of a shot. The only person we really don't know how performs in anything is really Tay, because it's not like they did those types of challenges at all, really, in BBAU.
Yeah.
So, like, we really don't, especially the kind of season she was on that had that stupid love crap going on. So, like, it really don't know about her. But, like, as far as, like, what we can infer from their athleticism, I actually think they all should do well. I would expect them.
I feel like I remember America being really solid in competitions. Don't quote me on it. I might be misremembering, but I feel like I remember her being like a veto. Like,
yeah, and I feel like Blue kind of like she won some things. Yeah, I know. It's so hard to remember.
I will say that it was funny because Cedric actually made a comment. I did watch the first episode of Challenge 41 today briefly. I was like kind of in and out of it, but I remember at one point Cedric actually made a comment being like, wow, like I thought the social game was like most important in Big Brother, but it feels like here on the challenge it's actually like times 10, which I thought was like an interesting comment from Cedric. So, but who knows if we'll actually cover it or not? But it should
No,
be
I would
interesting.
say
To watch
that's
these
an
players.
interesting observation because like in the challenge you have to make a lot of different decisions to either help people or not. Where in Big Brother
Mhm.
you're not really trying to help anyone. It's kind of more of an individual success kind of a thing. But yeah.
And Matt asks another question here, saying, "Will you guys be covering Australian Survivor vs. the World?" This might be the reason that we're not covering the Challenge 41, actually. But I wanted to bring it up because I know there's pretty recent Big Brother players that are on it that we all know. So on the challenge, so we'll see. But we'll most likely be covering Australian Survivor instead of the challenge, right?
I certainly intend to.
Mm-hmm.
I have far more interest in that than the challenge. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but we're talking.
Agreed.
I mean, like, I would maybe like a once a month like recapper or something like that. But
Sure.
to do that weekly, I don't know that I want to put myself through that again. It's going to be on until Christmas. So I don't know. Like, I'm not super. Yeah, but we can certainly talk about it. I mean, I guess I can be convinced to do anything, but I won't be spearheading that charge. Okay, I will not be playing line leader on that one.
Maybe we'll do a mid-season and a end of season recap.
Yeah, I mean, as often as it's on, we can just recap once a quarter. I mean, it'll still be on next summer, so like we'll have plenty of time to revisit that.
That works all right.
But for Big Brother 27, I guess we do plan to be back Monday unless there's something else going on. But I mean, I certainly am over here trying to look at the calendar that fell. So what is even Monday's date? That'd be August. Is that the 4th?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. The goal is 8:30. We know that we were a little late tonight. We thank you for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out and waiting. But yeah, 8:30 on Mondays. Hopefully, we'll let you know in the Soul Souls. And I think that's all I got. Are we satisfied? Anything else for the benefit of the community?
Satisfied.
All right. Well, thank you all. Bye.